Hello, this is Scott, again from Scott in the System. And this week's program, we are talking to Stephanie Heckel, Outreach Specialist from Area Agency on Aging of West Michigan. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, so if you'd like, I can talk a little bit about Area Agency on Aging of Western Michigan. We've been around since 1974, and our goal, our whole reason for existing is to work with older adults and adults who are disabled to help them stay independent in their communities. And we actually partner with a variety of agencies in the community to help provide services to them so that they are able to get the different resources they need with the goal of ideally staying at home as long as possible.
I'm all for that.
Yes, yes.
Sorry to say the nursing home to me represents the end of the line.
The nursing homes definitely are the most restrictive setting for care that somebody could be in.
What is your main funding services?
Yeah, so Area Agency on Aging, we are a nonprofit agency, so we do get funds from local, state, and federal dollars. Locally, here in Kent County, we help fund and then get funding from the Kent County Senior Millage. From the state level, we get funds from Medicaid, and that goes into one of the programs that we offer that we'll be talking about today, Medicaid Waiver. And then from the federal level, we get funds from the Older Americans Act, which is grant dollars that come into our agency.
Yeah, so there's a lot of figures in the pie, I guess we could say.
I would say that, yes.
But it's all very important, especially if it's going to help individuals such as myself to maintain a better quality of life.
Exactly, exactly.
And just for my viewers, I have been associated with AAA of West Michigan since 1999, I do believe.
Yes.
Was that about the first year the waiver program was introduced, or?
That was pretty early into the waiver program, and it's been going successfully all these years later, which is something we're pretty proud of.
Thank goodness.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah.
You are considered a nonprofit and are nationwide, correct?
Correct. So Area Agencies on Aging, we're actually all throughout the country. In Michigan, we actually have a 9-county area. So we serve Kent County and then surrounding counties in Western Michigan, minus the Lake Shore. There's another area agency that covers there, but there's 16 total area agencies in Michigan. So every county is going to have an area agency on aging that can assist them. And then for those that might be viewing that are out of state or have loved ones out of state that would still benefit from some of the services we offer, there's area agencies there as well. So state and federal.
Yeah, looking at it from broad point, you would think it'd be easy for us to go from one state to the other, but it's not quite as easy as you guys would think, because when you have to qualify for Medicaid or whatever before you even could use, AAA, right?
There are a couple of different programs that, yes, would have Medicaid funding or Medicaid criteria that a person has to meet. And that's where you're right. It does get tricky because every state has different Medicaid rules and guidelines. So even though the services in general might be pretty similar, a person in one location has to meet that criteria versus another location that might have.
And try to make it short and sweet for my viewers.
Yep.
Based on my experience wanting to migrate to a warm climate, naturally you have to be a local resident before you can even apply for, the assistance there, as far as Medicaid or otherwise, before you even could use triple A in that area.
Yes. Yeah,
So
that'd be
in a
most likely.
sense, you have to support yourself for 3 to 4 months, depending how quickly it takes to be approved or possibly not approved.
Right. That's always the potential, but especially in this area where we like to see people and they're saying, my goal is to stay home. Ideally, then we're able to see them here and get those services started. So hopefully that avoids that if they're not looking to move.
Yeah. What is area agency's main focus? I
So
think we talked about
we
that.
did, but I'll stress it again because it's very important, and it's that independence, really helping somebody get what they need so that they can stay as independent as possible. But beyond just working with the person, we work a lot with families, we work with caregivers, we partner with different agencies, but we also are a resource to those other agencies. So it's not just helping the individual stay independent, but it's also helping their support system learn about what's out there and educating the community on all the things that could be available so that we all together can work as a system to help that person.
Yeah, those that are not quite so aware, they would probably get into the problem of solely depending on, a family member, close friend, or something like that.
Right. And family members are helpful, but they need help too, and that's where we can
There
assist.
would be a stress issue and all kinds of other complications that
Exactly.
could possibly, make that support system not as strong.
That's exactly correct. And we hope that we can help with some of that caregiver burden by maybe providing some of our services.
What is the eligibility requirements?
So with Area Agency on Aging, we have a couple of different care programs that we offer. One, we've mentioned the name My Choice Medicaid Waiver. There's different criteria for that program than there is for, let's say, our Care Management and Choices for Independence program. Some of our programs, not most, but some, are going to require an individual to be age 60 and up. And that's kind of that aging piece that comes into the picture there. But a couple of our programs, Medicaid Waiver and Nursing Facility Transition, sometimes we see people as young as 18 because we also serve that population of individuals who have care needs and have also been deemed certified disabled. So it does depend on the program. And a lot of times what I tell people is we're really created to be a one-stop shop for seniors or for individuals who are needing care resources or just help to stay independent. So even though some of our programs that provide care might have different criteria or age requirements, anybody is welcome to start contacting us, and we are happy to talk to anybody that reaches out to us to give them answers on whatever's going on.
So they have some kind of resource.
Exactly. Yes, that's correct.
Okay. What kind of services are offered by AAA of West Michigan?
Yes. So one of the big services that we offer is what we call information and assistance. And that's done over the phone. So people can call our agency, and we have one phone number for everything. So people can call our agency, describe a little bit of what's going on, what prompted that call. And we actually have an intake department that will handle all of these calls, where they will just hear what's going on and then help get that person connected to the resources that would benefit the situation. Sometimes that leads into getting referred to a program that we offer that helps to provide care or assistance in the home. Sometimes that's getting people connected to information on other community partners and agencies. Sometimes people call and they just have a quick question that they need answered. Other times people really aren't sure why they're calling. They just know something is not quite right and they need to discuss what's going on with a professional that can help them. So information and assistance is a big one. And again, that can be done over the phone, so it can be done pretty conveniently, so a person does not have to come to our building. And that's going to be true for all 9 counties that we serve. So whatever area the person is in, they would still funnel through our main number. And then in addition to that, I keep mentioning that we have care programs, but we have a couple of programs that we offer that actually help people get connected to services. So when they have need for personal care, housekeeping, errands, transportation, things like that, we actually have programs where we will help coordinate those services and get what the person needs established.
And this would be such as Meals on Wheels and these types of things.
Exactly. And personal care, somebody to help clean the house, somebody to help get the person ready for the day, prepare meals at home, grocery shop, all these day-to-day things that everybody needs to have done. That would be something that we focus on.
Just to help maintain that better quality of life.
Exactly. And we are all about being person-centered. And what I mean by that is we're all about what the person's goals and wishes are. So when we talk with people, when we're working with people, we might help identify all the different things that are out there, but our hope is that the person will say, I needed to learn more about what's available. This is what I want for myself. Help me reach my goals. So we are very much wanting to talk with the person, identify maybe what some needs are, but then really have them drive this for us. It's really important to us that we follow what's important to them.
So basically, in a sense, you're saying it's consumer driven.
Exactly.
Not the other way around.
Correct. Yeah, that's what we're hoping to do. And that's what goes back to giving that person that independence and giving them good dignity in life and giving them choices and options for how they would like to live their lives versus area agency dictating how they would live their lives. We don't want to do that. We just want to help be that resource to get them into what they need.
I can't, argue with that at all, because I know if somebody came into my home and started wanting to run the show, oh boy.
Yes, that would not be successful for anybody.
No. Please explain about the Advocates for Senior Issues group.
Yes, so in addition to some of these care programs that area agency provides, we do have a whole, section of area agency that focuses on advocacy. And one group in particular is this Advocates for Senior Issues. So this is a group that focuses on learning about different tasks, concerns, initiatives, whatever we want to call it, that's out there that could be affecting daily lives for seniors. And it's a group that pulls in all sorts of populations. We have people in their 20s all the way up to people in their 90s in this group, where they are passionate about senior issues. They are concerned about things that could negatively affect the lives of seniors. They are motivated to promote positivity and steps moving forward for seniors. So this group gets together to bring in different leaders from the community, senators, representatives, other legislature, to talk about what's going on, what could be impactful for the seniors in our community. And then they try to make action happen. Depending on what's out there, what's happening, they don't want to just identify the issues, but they want to come up with a plan of what would we do about this. We encourage anybody in the community who's interested in going to these to participate. The meetings are conveniently held at Frederick Meyer Garden.
That was a big incentive for me.
Yes, exactly. And so our first time guests, we do ask ahead of time if people have questions or they want to talk more about the meeting to call our agency so we can go through that a little more in detail. But we have these meetings at Frederick Meyer Garden, so we'll have different topics, different speakers coming in. then there's the opportunity to stay, enjoy the gardens, have lunch, that kind of thing. We do ask for those that would be attending regularly. There's sponsorship opportunities available, but that would be something we can always talk to a person about one-on-one if that's something they're interested in.
I was gonna say, being these are held, I believe, like every third Monday or Wednesday of the month or something like this.
Yep, so they're on Fridays, and
okay.
I want to say 10 o'clock till about noon. They have different strategic groups that meet there as well. So there's kind of subgroups, and then the main group meets together. And that's usually once a month. I think they take the summers off, like a lot of meetings do. But we are starting back up again in September, and then it's always on a Friday. I believe it's the third Friday of the month, but I would direct somebody to call our agency so we could confirm that.
And I was wondering as well, would there be assistance for like Go Bus tickets or something like that?
We would look at that, I think, on a case-by-case basis to see, who's participating, what we're having them participate in, that kind of thing. But we do have an advocacy coordinator directly through area agency, and she's been a great go-to person, not only for getting these meetings established, running this group, but also educating people who are more passionate about senior issues and want to become more involved. She likes to talk to people so she can explain the goals of the group, but also see if there's any skill sets the person might want to contribute that could really help this group in their goals to move forward.
Well, I mean, it's great to be involved, but sometimes just try to get to all these different events could get a bit costly.
It can, and I think if that's ever an issue or a concern that somebody has, we still would encourage them to call our main number so we could maybe talk more about that.
Yeah, it would be a shame to have that be a block form so they couldn't learn to express their ideas or learn from others.
Exactly, especially when there's more that could then be given to the group too, and it's kind of just beneficial for everybody.
Yes.
So I agree.
What is MP, I believe that is?
Yep, so probably our MAP program, which is MMAP, or we call it MAP for short. But the full title of that program, it's the Michigan Medicare and Medicaid Assistance Program. What's nice about this is actually statewide, so it's not just specific to Area Agency on Aging of Western Michigan. So all throughout the state, this MAP program is available. And what this is, it's a volunteer-run program. We do have a regional coordinator in our office, but he oversees all of the different volunteers that we have in the program. And they're trained counselors to talk with people about their Medicare questions. And so any Medicare beneficiary is encouraged to call us if they have questions on bills that they receive, if they have questions on their drug coverage, especially in open enrollment time when they're looking to see, am I in the right plan? Is it the most cost effective? Is it what's beneficial for me? If they have any concerns about Medicare fraud or abuse, that could be brought to MAP's attention so that could be handled appropriately. So there's a lot of things that they do for Medicare beneficiaries, but one really nice thing is about this is it's a free service. So any Medicare beneficiary, if they've got questions, they call in and we could set up a time to talk with them over the phone, maybe meet with them in person at our office, or maybe meet with them at their home, whatever is going to work best. And because of the way that this program is structured, this is unbiased Medicare information. So people are getting that information directly on what Medicare would be providing. So I think that's important too, because one, the price is right because it's free, but they're getting pretty objective information so they can get the most knowledge about their situation and then make the best decision from that.
Yeah, because if somebody was going to go to like a lawyer that specializes in this type of area, I'm sure it would get quite expensive.
Exactly. And there are a lot of people that maybe utilize the internet. They might go to Medicare.gov, but there's a lot of people that might have difficulty with that. So even though these answers might be online somewhere, they might have a lot of trouble navigating that. So that's where our counselors can be kind of that person that does that for them and with them.
Is there any other services that you would like to talk about? I know we haven't covered one of my personal favorites, mom's meals.
Oh, yes, yes. So there are a couple of different agencies in the community that provide home delivered meals. We actually partner with those agencies. And when I say partner, what I mean is we kind of have a formal relationship between us where area agencies not necessarily overseeing them, but we can use some of our funds that we receive from our programs to reimburse for the services they're providing to our participants. But what's one really nice thing about some of these home delivered meal programs is not only are you getting a nice nutritious meal that's well balanced and something hopefully that you will enjoy, but there's a little more oversight with that too. So many seniors and so many adults that we work with end up feeling maybe some sort of loneliness or maybe a little isolated depending on their support system. So sometimes that home delivered meal driver is their social interaction. And not only are they having somebody to talk to, but that's also a little extra oversight for them too. So if somebody's coming to their home 5 days a week to deliver a meal, that means somebody is able to see them 5 days a week to make sure everything is okay. Or if they need some help, they might be able to assist them very quickly. So that's really important. And I think that's a big piece of helping somebody stay at home as well, is just making sure that everything is okay and that there's extra supports in place when needed.
Yeah, and of course I use mom's meals. It basically, they deliver twice a month.
Oh, yep. Or you could get them more that way, exactly. So one of the other programs too I know that we mentioned, but I could explain a little bit more about, is My Choice Medicaid Waiver, because that's our big care program that we offer to a lot of people.
This is the program I use.
Yes, yep. So you're familiar, which is great. This is a program that was designed to be an alternative to nursing home placement. So we see individuals in this program and provide services to them when, based on their care needs, they could otherwise qualify to be in a nursing home setting. Now with area agency, we are not anti-nursing home by any means. We do know that there's a need for that level of care, but we are working with those folks that say, I don't want to be in a nursing home. I want to be in my own home, but I need help on a daily basis. I need help getting ready for the day. I need help with toileting, bathing, certain tasks.
ADLs, as I call it.
Yep, activities of daily living, exactly. There's other times where people are needing help with things around the house. They might need help with medication setup, transportation. Medicaid waiver can sometimes help pay for the life alert buttons, the PERS units.
Which I also have.
Those are important. Those are very helpful. So there's quite a few things that Medicaid waiver can provide that help somebody stay at home. Now, this is a big program we offer. I do think it's also a complicated program because there's so many things to it. So whenever somebody's thinking, am I eligible for this or is my loved one eligible for this, I always encourage that, again, they just call our main number, because what we'll do is while they're on the phone, we'll actually ask a series of questions to help determine, are you a potential candidate for this program? And if so, can we help you move forward to get this process started? One thing, and I know we've talked about this before, but one thing that's really nice about the waiver program is we do have the option for self-determination. And what that means is if somebody has a caregiver that they would in mind, not an agency necessarily, but a family member, friend, somebody that would be willing to be a caregiver for them, we do have that option where we can get them into this program and get services established, but rather than going through an agency with somebody they don't know, they could have somebody they know and trust be their primary caregiver, and then maybe have an agency as backup. It's an option. All of these things we look at a case-by-case basis. So we look at what's going to be best for the individual and what do we need to coordinate to make sure this situation is successful for them. But it's a great program. It's long-term. So as long as somebody qualifies and they want to be in the program, this is indefinite. And we're helping people either avoid going to a nursing home or delay having to go to a nursing home because that is their goal. So we're putting in services to help them meet that goal.
Yeah, and I would like my viewers to know this was all started to show that maintaining someone's quality of life at home, was determined to be far less of an expense than putting them in a nursing home.
That's true, because Medicaid dollars do also reimburse for nursing home care, which is pretty expensive because, as we mentioned, it's the highest level of care somebody can be in. So it is more cost effective for the state dollars to help assist somebody with getting care coordinated in the home on a routine basis versus paying for nursing care, especially when that person is saying, I don't want this level of care. I want to try to make it at home. And depending on the situation, sometimes there's individuals that could benefit from from equipment, medical equipment that insurance maybe doesn't cover. So even things like a shower chair or a handheld shower, grab bars, raised toilet seat or above the toilet, all these things are maybe just little expenses that help somebody stay in the home that much longer because it's just that little extra support that they need.
And I think I have just about all those pieces of equipment that you mentioned.
Right. But they're very common. A lot of people utilize them, and it's not too expensive compared to having to stay at a nursing home when equipment and services at home could help that individual stay there.
Thanks, Stephanie, for coming today. Thank you to At Home for tuning in with us today. This is Scott in the System. Well, thank you for coming and thank you for watching, everybody.
Thank you.